I am Trevor Hayes. I also go by Trev the Punching Bag on Instagram and my YouTube channel. I am a full-time boxing and Muay Thai coach. I also do a lot of work with MMA fighters for their striking. Outside of that, I am also a judge working on becoming a referee for combat sports.
Oh, cool.
I've also I work actively as an announcer and commentator for fights as well.
Very cool.
I'm a very, very amateur comedian. Recently just hosted my very first showcase, so that's going to be a regular thing. Got some doors opened up with that. And I feel like there is... Oh, and then just started a YouTube channel for instructional videos, trying to work on monetizing YouTube like everyone else in the punchy, kicky business. So, yeah.
Cool, man.
Having a lot of fun with it, yeah.
So how long have you been into fighting?
I started kickboxing 17 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I walked onto a wrestling mat when I was 9 years old, and I just haven't looked back. Yeah, I'm very lucky that I grew up when in the UFC generation, I feel.
Yeah.
There was like a stigma on it as a kid, but man, I'll tell you what, I remember that being on it. I was 6 years old, and my dad ordered the first pay-per-view. He saw a guy get soccer kicked, tooth knocked out. He turned it off, and he watched, and I just went, dude, come on. And my dad went, all right, no looking back. And then, yeah, so,
That's funny.
man, I've been into martial arts and combat sports my whole life. It's all I've ever done.
Awesome. Have you fought professionally or in
No
competitions?
No. I had my first smoker when I was 16. Stopped competing when I was 24, maybe. I think I had like 8 fights fall through. I went through like 8 fight camps, and I just went, man, this is not like I didn't want to be a world champion, and that was tough for a lot of people to understand. Like if you want to be in this just to fight, a lot of people didn't get that back then. I did not want to be a world champion. I just enjoyed getting into fights and stuff like that, man. So I kind of just went like, you know what? There's really definitely no future in like the whole fighting and the way people look at it. So I'm going to stick to my training, and then I became a coach. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Awesome. How long have you been a fight coach?
Full-time, close to 5 years now.
Okay.
And before that, maybe 4 years, 5 years. Coming up on 5 years, full-time. And before that, I was an assistant coach for a long time. So I've gotten a lot of good recognition as a very technical and experienced coach, and that's from my time as an assistant coach.
Right.
Like you can't be a
Great.
chef unless you're a sous chef.
Oh,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, in Muay Thai, are there belts or different levels?
Oh, like rankings? Oh,
Yeah.
no, you're either an amateur or you're a pro, you're good or you're bad.
Okay.
Like, that's it, man.
Get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's like, all right, you just kind of suck still. And it's like, all right, thanks, man. Like, that's how it is.
Okay.
Or you're world champion.
Did you ever train with Paul Sum in Ashboro back in the day? Any?
Man, no, I didn't. No, I've heard that name talked about a lot, and I never got to really
Man, he
interact
used
with him.
to kick the shit out of me.
Heard of him too.
Yeah, man, I was a big guy, so I would try to go to war with him, and that was a mistake.
I always
Because
loved
he would
sparring
kick
bigger
me,
guys.
he would take me down like, oh, you big guy, I'd take you down, and just would chop me down, man,
Oh,
like a
dude.
tree.
People don't know what a good leg kick
Oh,
is like,
man.
man. It's like a party trick sometimes when I'm at the bar. Like, dude, come on, kick this guy in the leg. And I'm like,
Man, my arm's up too high, catch me right here.
rib, yeah.
I'm talking about massive bruises, right? Well, next time you know to block it. It doesn't matter.
no.
It still hurts like hell.
It just gets you right in the soul.
That's right. I had some, and he'd front kick me sometimes, and I'd have
Oh, yeah,
massive.
gets you good like teep or push kick. You see like the toe marks dug in.
Yeah, man. I'm like, this is rough, man. But I did that for, when I was glutton for punishment. I went through that same phase, but a much shorter window.
I've just always been good at taking a punch, man.
I
Like,
skipped that window. Just stayed out of that window.
You came up and trained one time. You remember that? You remember we were doing some stuff upstairs,
yeah.
but he wasn't really big into bodybuilding at the time.
I
And
more just watched.
Yeah. He was more, he didn't want to tear anything because when you're building, when
Oh
you're
yeah,
bodybuilding,
you
you can't.
I get on a lot of people about that. Like you cannot strength train like you're trying to be a truck and fight at the same time. Like your
No.
muscle groups don't like people tear biceps and pecs
That's right.
all the
Right,
time,
yeah.
man. People have had such a
Yeah.
they're like, I want to get stronger, so I'm gonna do all this, and I'm like, you're gonna rip your shoulders out of socket, man. Like
Yeah.
you can't throw a punch like that. What's wrong
No,
with you?
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was training for bodybuilding, you can't do athletic things and train that way. because
The patterns
You're
yeah.
overtraining anyway.
and the patterns don't
No,
match
it
up.
doesn't.
Yeah.
You
No.
need to train lighter.
I
if
mean,
you're
it
gonna
feels
be doing-
great just to get that heavy lifting every now and then, man. But if you want to be actually like athletic, you cannot do that every
No.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a difference between being in shape and like being strong and being athletic. There's a huge difference.
Huge
Oh, yeah.
difference, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh
boss.
no, hey
You-
man, I got so much CTE and I just got so much stuff rolling through my head. I'm always like, oh wait, what were we just talking about? I'm like have you seen that movie Memento?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm like that a lot of times. Yeah. Like a violent goldfish. Just I forget stuff every 10 seconds.
That's fine. We've got plenty of time.
What's her name in Dory? And Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
I don't know what the recall window is for her, but
It's a few seconds.
Yeah.
No short term.
no short term. But so you were talking about you're doing this training and coaching, and I know that you actually train and coach one of my partners. But where are you out of? Is it Triad? Is it Raleigh?
Out of Raleigh.
Out of Raleigh?
Yes, sir. Yep, Raleigh, North Carolina. I've lived in the RDU for over 20 years now. Originally from Virginia Beach, so it's just definitely become my home. I moved away a couple times, but man, I love Raleigh. Yeah.
What's the school you're out of up there?
Knuckle Up Boxing.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
it's owned by a good friend of mine, Randy Wood. And I know the people are behind it, the partners, and it's just a good group of people. Yeah, I'll have to bring them up here one time. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Is there a big fight scene up there? Like a big Muay Thai?
It's growing.
scene?
I'm really happy to see how many schools there are now. I remember back in the day there was just like one school.
Reality Combat. When I was back in the day, I would travel.
Yeah. Team Rock.
Team Rock. That's who I would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was probably, this is like early 20s, 23, 24. I wasn't dedicated to it. I mean, but when I would go, that's who I would go see.
They have a monstrous school in Fayetteville.
Yeah.
All the 82nd guys, all the military guys. It's madhouse, but great fighters. But yeah, there's a Team Rock affiliate I used to coach out of in Raleigh. I've known all those guys, came up with them for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, there was REMA, the Raleigh Institute of Martial Arts. They all started in there, and that was, I think, like early 2000, and they were the only school in town, really.
Huh.
Like now we've got 12, 15 schools in like the RDU area of like, like everyone has competitive fighters, man. It's so great to see the opportunities for people to train. And that's why I love Raleigh, just seeing the opportunity and the scene grow. We don't have as many fights going on as I like.
Right.
But, you know, we're working on some things to hopefully get some more fights in the area.
That's cool.
So we're excited.
What you need is a future Dana White.
Hey, I'm the future Joe Rogan. I just did a different set of drugs in my 20s than he did. I'm way more morally corrupt than that guy.
He did or currently doing now.
Yeah, no, that's definitely in my past. Don't worry.
No, I meant him.
Oh, him? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody. I don't know if everybody, but a good large portion of the population goes through that in like a window. Maybe it's like 16 to 25. Mm-hmm. If they're going to experiment with anything, that's probably the neighborhood they're going to do it. You feel invincible up until, I don't know, for me it was about 30, you know. But
cut back from the hard stuff.
Man, just everything. I felt like an adult at 30.
I felt the fear of becoming an adult at 30, and that's when I just changed drug habits a little bit. Yeah. Just a little bit. But I don't like the thought of growing up. It's too scary.
Man, we're all young at heart, man. In my head, I don't miss 18 to 25, like as far as like the shit I was doing, because I was just bringing so much stress in my life, and the drama and the all the mess that came with it. I miss the way my body felt, but that's
invincible.
Those are personal choices, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm constantly, I'm choosing to eat. I'm not currently, but when I got fat because I chose to eat shit, and choosing to eat shit today meant that I was choosing to be overweight tomorrow.
Yep.
Right. So like, I don't think that 18 to 25. The youth I'm missing, I think it was the dedication to living a healthier lifestyle. So that's why I've picked that back up, and I immediately start feeling better. Literally within a matter of days or weeks.
You done really well with your diet.
Yeah.
Couple months.
It doesn't even feel like a diet; it's a lifestyle change.
Yeah,
now.
lifestyle.
Yeah. I've gotten on a lot of comics about that. Like, it's crazy to see like how like comedy and health goes hand in hand. I tell some of these comics like, man, stop drinking so much. You're in your early 20s. Like, it's sometimes good to have a clear head before you go on stage. Like chug a beer before you go up, but like. Clean your diet up a couple of days before you go up, and like everything gets a little bit clearer. Like,
that seems like the interesting thing about comedy, though, is it's such a broad, diverse group of people. So
many different. But that's
and you have some comics that are, they struggle with depression and they've had tough experiences, and that's part of why they are who they are. They're so funny.
It's the exact same group of people in fighting. Like I fell in love with comedy. I've always loved comedy. Just always loved. I mean, as a kid, Jim Carrey was like my hero because you hear his story about like being in a van and he'd make his family laugh so they'd feel good. Then got his $20 million check, and I was like, that's what's up. I like that. And always been a big like Doug Stanhope fan because he's so dark and twisted. And Bill Burr, but you see all these comics and fighters have the same backstories, man. Like I'm amazed at how many comics I've met. I'm like, you sound just like one of my fighters you guys had the same childhood, but you just don't like to get hit. Holy crap. That's awesome. Yeah. There's a lot of diversity in comedy that people don't see. And then you have the people that aren't super mopey and depressed showing up at shows, and people are like, weren't you like sad? And I'm like, I don't know. I like what I do. Sorry. Yeah. I don't have to make fun of my day job at a comedy show. I make fun of everything else.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Everybody else's day job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just recently got into comedy too. I'm like an open micer, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I tell people I'm just an open micer. I don't even consider myself a comic. Like, there's levels to comedy, like there are in, like how you're asking about Muay Thai if there's belts.
Right, yeah.
In comedy, it's like your white belt is that you're just an open micer. You're supposed to be that way for like a year and a half, 2 years, I feel. Just to figure out your own voice, or if you want to do it. Like,
right, yeah.
Figure out what it takes.
Well, I enjoy writing, so
that's my favorite thing.
Why
It is the writing, and that helps my coaching a lot too. Like thought to paper and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
The writing has become my favorite part. Getting up and bombing, so easy. That is so easy. What I hate how easy it is to go up there and mess up. That is but writing, it's hard.
Not fun though.
I've had one horrible bomb, but I knew it was going to happen, and so I did it anyways. It was like that day of like, oh, I feel like I'm going to get knocked out. I should go do an open mic.
It's
and
just
it was
part
horrible.
Of it.
But even if I don't have a good set, I like to watch the audience, because like with a new bit, it's supposed to bomb. So just look at the audience and just see, you might not hear them laugh, but you can see like something registers. You go, oh, there's something.
It's a good premise.
It's a good premise you can work on the next time. Like I've had a room just be dead silent for 3 minutes.
Oh yeah.
However, like you get like a few little like, and I'm like, okay, good. Like to me, I'm like, there's something there. Is that considered a bomb? Yeah, but I got something out of it.
Or it's pity.
Yeah, or it's pity. It could be pity. But then it was great because I had some comic telling me, I was like, dude, that was horrible. Like, why are you smiling the whole time? And while we were talking, I had like 10 people go, man, great set. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you laugh? Like, that was upsetting. But but no, it's like you can have a good set.
Yeah.
And just the room doesn't want to laugh at it that day.
Well, a lot of times open mics, there's a lot of comics there too. So it's hard.
I met you or I saw you go up at the one here, the Idiot Box.
That was a good night. That was
a
Friday
fun night.
But
that was a Thursday night.
There were real customers, like regular customers there. It wasn't all comics. It was actually that night. It was mostly customers.
It was,
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I was surprised at how many comics went up that night. That was a crazy.
There's a lot of comics in this market in Greensboro.
I'm so new to the comedy scene; it's blown me away.
It's not unusual to see 25, 30 comics at the Idiot Box.
That's wild.
On open mic nights.
Wow, that is so cool.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
But that Friday night show was awesome because there were so many of the crowd stayed over for the open mic.
Yeah, I mean, I went up towards the end. There were still quite a few people there that weren't comics.
There's probably 60 people in the room. Yeah,
It was amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great night.
It was cool.
I'm gonna have to come check that out.
Yeah.
I've heard now multiple
spot.
people talking about it, and I've never been there, so it's definitely on my list.
It's a fun little spot, man. It makes sense. Like
when stuff opens back up.
Yeah. What about in Raleigh? Is there where's the spot? So you came down to the Idiot Box, but is there spots in Raleigh you go to?
So yeah, there's Good Nights Comedy Club, which has been around for
Dusty was talking about
ever. Yeah, Dusty goes up. I've seen Dusty there quite a bit. So it's 3 floors. They have a downstairs bar, upstairs bar, and they'll do shows in the upstairs. The downstairs and the mid-level is the main showroom where they have like the big comics go up, and they have a really popular open mic. Like they have a couple hundred people come out to watch that. Like they'll on Tuesday night. Packed house, just for open mic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like there's sometimes it's not always like that.
Is it hard to get into the?
You got to sign up over the weekend,
okay.
and it's all like it's not really an open mic.
Do you have to audition for it or?
No. You just send in your information and they pick randomly. So and they do some raffle spots. So to me, it's not really an open mic, but it's an open mic
like a
comedy
next level
night.
Open
Yeah,
mic.
No, it's still like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. It's all
okay.
Yeah, there's just like an open mic to me is. You show up, you sign up, you're on and you're out.
Yeah,
This is a pre-registered mic. A good one to check out is Dirty Bull in Durham on Friday nights. They have a great show at 7 or 7:30. Rob puts that on, and you'll have 40, 50 people in there that are all customers inside a brewery. But Good Nights is the spot. A lot of small open mics popping up. Myself and a couple other comics.
I was going to say, you're doing an open mic in Raleigh too, right?
Yeah, at the Davy in downtown Raleigh. It's a really cool venue. We had 70 people at the first show.
Awesome.
We did a showcase, had a few open mic spots, and I just kind of pumped it out, talked to people. I know a lot of people in the area, and just so fun back for that one. And, but no, we had 70 people pack out the room, and it was great. And so we're going to do a regular showcase and open mics here and there, talking to a few other friends that have bars just to keep a rotating open mic thing going, man.
Right, yeah, that's good.
A lot of comics are lazy about putting mics together and maintaining, or you hear them complain, I don't know why it's not growing. And I'm like, because no one follows your social media, or you don't post about it, or you don't do it. It's like, shut up, man. Like, put some effort into it, guys.
Yeah.
Like, all it takes is a couple posts a week and just talking to people, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even a good comic, but I've brought out like 25 people just to watch me go up for 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's a big venue too.
Just
build
talk
excitement.
to people. Yeah, but
like anything
Sounds
else.
like we need to buy a spot in Raleigh, a bar and some floor space.
I mean, I know some guys that'll probably go in with you. To be honest, man, I know like the guys that own the bars on Glenwood, man, they have a lot of stuff going, so it could be a good little little meeting for you guys.
How many comics are in Raleigh?
A lot.
I know there's some really good ones that have come out of that area.
Yeah, Freddie Valois is on fire right now. Yeah, Freddie Valois is on fire. You got guys like Matt White, Mark Brady. They've been around for a long time.
I met Mark Brady. He's cool.
Yeah,
I want to have him on
dude.
the show. Yeah.
I love Mark. That Adonis. We all give him like crap about how good he looks.
He's funny though. His writing is really good.
So good. Yeah, he opened up for Andrew Santino and crushed.
Oh wow,
it.
that's huge.
Yeah. And then what are some other good ones? Yeah, I got like my really good friends. Emilio De Leon, Jacob. Emilio was with me at Idiot Box.
Okay.
Chris Rivley, he's coming up pretty good. He's starting to host a lot of mics, get a lot of attention. Chris was my old Muay Thai student. And,
that's cool.
Even then, when he was 19, he was like, I want to be a comedian. I was like, all right, well, do it. And then he pushed me into.
It's great that he knows that early. Yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend Talia, she's a comic. She gets featured on a lot of like shows around the area. Jacob Rice is a good friend of mine. He's a wild man. He's doing really well. He's putting together a lot of shows. Former bull rider. Now he does comedy. Yeah. Goes hand in hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this group of misfits.
Well, it's like I said, it's such a diverse group of people.
Yeah. And
from every aspect of life.
Yeah. All my fighters are hanging out with comics now. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's hilarious. I can imagine us getting along though.
Oh, I have just such a group of knuckleheads of students. They're all like honest, hardworking people, and they like to goof off. And so then like the comics like, that's so badass you fight, and the fighters, that's so badass you do comedy. And I'm like, we'll just hang out together and just and like they just make material off of each other now. It's great. I love it. Yeah,
that's cool. Now, do you are you a full-time fight instructor or fight coach?
Yes. Yeah, full time. I recently picked up a gig at the Village in Raleigh as a head of security for my buddy's bar. It's like a bar with like 3 buildings attached to it, and it's huge. And he was like, hey, run security. And I went, sweet. So I officially had like 1 shift in before it got shut down.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, well, hey, depression's back. Great. So, no, yeah. I teach 3 classes a week, and I have a bunch of privates. So cool. That keeps me going. And then I was like, all right, I could do some side work, and then got that security job. Because I also do like the commentating, announcing, judging. That pays well, but it's like every couple weekends, you know.
Right, yeah.
Like the security is like, all right, I can do this like steadily. So, yeah, that's mainly it right now, but pretty much full-time punching bag.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you actually been into the comedy? Like, when did you start doing stand-up?
Just over a year.
Okay.
Yeah, just over a year. I'm super new to it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and in my first couple months, I did like 50 mics or something like that. Like
wow.
I was like, oh, what? I can do one you can do one almost every night of the week in Raleigh. Some nights you can
that's a good thing about the bigger cities.
Yeah, you could hit 3 in some night. And like, so within like my first couple weeks, I was doing 3 mics in a night. And I just got that knocked out of the way, and I went, yeah, I can do this as a hobby. Like, I just really wanted to jump into the deep end, and then I just kind of paddled on over to like the shallows again, just to hang out and just build. Yeah. Now I try to go up at least twice a week. Yeah, but man, I love it.